Hello! Welcome to another week with author E. Jamie. For this week, I am pretty sure that I am not going anywhere. There will be no walks this week, which makes me uh, kind of not feel great, and hopefully that won't make anything make my mood take a dip or anything later in the week. But because these days that I'm off, starting today, we are beginning a snowstorm. Yeah, that is happening over the next 3 days, and maybe even into when I go back to work on Saturday. So I'm not going anywhere, and it's so sad because I was so looking forward to. I was gonna go to the library. I was gonna go to visit a free little library. I was gonna go to the book exchange because I wanted to check out some books there because Friday is payday, and I wanted to check out a book or two there, and get some. And they also sell like reading glasses there, so I wanted to check out, like sort of like what they had. And then yesterday we started hearing about snow, so then I was like, okay, today, if it doesn't start if the snowstorm doesn't start too early, maybe I can make it to the book exchange and uh, sort of maybe pick up a treat or something for myself. But no, pretty much as soon as I got up, it started snowing, and then I was like, oh, it's not that bad. I'm trying to talk myself into going, and then it just got sort of worse and worse. And yeah, we're just sort of, it's just not worth it to go outside in that. So that sucks. Um, so today I'm pretty much just staying home, and I think tomorrow and Wednesday as well. Um, so today I just figured I'd take advantage and use it as a laundry day. So doing some laundry. Um, and I think maybe I'll do some editing of like a reaction or something. But pretty much just a laundry day. We cleaning up around here, reading, and polishing up Wanted, my historical romance that was previously published. I'm republishing that, and so I'm going to be working on that today. I'm going to be starting this today. I'm going to be starting Gabriel Amor Immortal. And it is got from the library. It is a series that I believe, I did not know that this was maybe just the first season. And it is a vampire romance where Cheyenne, the musician slash actor, plays a vampire. So looking forward to that. Yeah, I'll be starting that today. So usually if I don't really go anywhere, I don't really do sort of a vlogging update thing. So that's why some weeks you might have shorter vlogs from me. Some weeks you'll have longer vlogs. Last week's vlog was pretty long. And yeah, just that's just sort of how I do here. So I'm gonna be starting that today. I am making my way through this beautiful thing. Beautiful, beautiful thing. So I thought that I would read you the last one that I read. Where are you? Yeah. So this is the last one that I read of Pablo Neruda. Poetry of Pablo Neruda. Here I love you. In the dark pines, the wind disentangles itself. The moon glows like phosphorus on the vagrant waters. Days, all one kind, go chasing each other. The snow unfurls in dancing figures. A silver gull slips down from the west, sometimes a sail, high, high stars. Oh, the black cross of a ship, alone. Sometimes I get up early and even my soul is wet, far away from the sea sounds and resounds. This is a port. Here, I love you. Here I love you, and the horizon hides you in vain. I love you still among these cold things. Sometimes my kisses go on those heavy vessels that cross the sea towards no arrival. I see myself forgotten like those old anchors. The piers sadden when the afternoon moors there. My life grows tired, hungry to no purpose. I love what I do not have. You are so far. My loathing wrestles with the slow twilights, but night comes and starts to sing to me. The moon turns its clockwork dream. The biggest stars look at me with your eyes, and as I love you, the pines in the wind want to sing your name with their leaves of wire. I love him so much. So I have started and am actually almost halfway through. I would say I'm about halfway through Anne of Windy Poplars. And I am loving it. I mean, that dinner with the Taylors, that was something. Nora and Jim, there always seems to be some kind of like subplot romance thing that like Anne is either like involved in or trying to make happen. But yeah, there's Nora and Jim who there was some kind of like misunderstanding and they fought and each thought that the other didn't want them back, even though they both did, and that was really sweet. Um, Pauline, poor Pauline, and her mother is a lot. Her mother is a lot, and I loved Anne sort of helping Pauline out with her mother. That was really, really sweet. My one criticism of this book that makes it not like, I still love it, but not as much as the first three. And the only reason for that is that the letters. I'm not a big fan of epistolary romances. And those are romances that are usually told in letters or journals or like stuff like that. Because I find it hard to get invested. Now I understand that Anne is away from Gilbert, and he's like, I think he's in medical school at this point. And yeah, he's in medical school, and she's at this school in Summerside. And so they're not together. And so for the romance to sort of progress, you sort of have to do it through like letters and stuff. But I find it hard to get sort of invested. I like the parts of the book better that are not that are actually like sort of being told in narration form and not through letters. So that's sort of where we are. So this one is, while I still love it because it has those moments where it's story form and like narration and in like Anne's point of view kind of thing, it's I still love it, but that's the one criticism that I have for this one that I haven't had in the other books. That makes it like lower on the list. So yeah, I finished The Wolf by Lorenzo Carcaterra. Jimmy, you fucking dumbass. I enjoyed this book. I did. And the only thing that I'm a little conflicted about the end. I and I can't talk about the end without spoiling it. So Vincent has a friend, a friend named Jimmy, who is has a some sort of muscular degenerative disease that leaves him wheelchair bound and unable to talk. And Jimmy's the son of the Don. And unfortunately, because of Jimmy's condition, he will not succeed his father as Don. So the Don chooses Vincent, the protagonist of the story. And Jimmy makes some choices that put Vincent's life in danger, even though Jimmy was not involved in what happened to Vincent's wife and daughters. He was making deals with the people sort of connected to what happened to Vincent's wife and daughters. And of course, Vincent is heartbroken about this. And Jimmy's reasoning for doing it is, while he loves Vincent and considers him like his best friend, there is that resentment that he's not going to be Don and Vincent is. So he feels like if he can make these deals with the rival people, that maybe his father could see that even though, despite his physical incapacities, he would still make a good Don. That blows up in Jimmy's face. And so because of the betrayal, someone needs to be punished. And Vincent doesn't, for his feeling of hurt and betrayal, he doesn't want to kill his best friend. He doesn't want to kill Jimmy. He feels like he has to do it. And put a pin in that for a second. But he doesn't want to. So Jimmy's father, the Don, Vincent's uncle, so Jimmy is like his cousin and his best friend, offers himself up as a sacrifice, as reparation for Jimmy's betrayal. So his father dies for him. And those were like the parts that I loved, the actual like mafia parts. I didn't care so much about the terrorist bits and the bombings and this and that and they're gonna bomb a museum and blah blah blah. I didn't care so much about that, but I read it because, like it's part of the plot and like, you're following along on the story. And the ending, Vincent decides, after all of this, that he needs to kill Jimmy anyway. Because even though Jimmy promises that he's never gonna, do anything like this again, Vincent can no longer trust him because Vincent's wife and 2 daughters were killed in the terrorist plot. And that's why Vincent was going against these people and trying to bring them down. And but he still has a son. The son, Jack, was miraculously ended up staying with Vincent on his plane instead of going with his mom and 2 sisters. So Jack was saved. So Vincent sort of feels like the only way to ensure his son's safety, because even though I don't know if he's forgiven Jimmy, but he decides that he needs to kill Jimmy to ensure that his son Jack stays safe. And I still don't know how I feel about that. Because his uncle did say to him, for Jimmy's part in making this deal with Vladimir and these Russians, I am giving myself up as restitution, or to make reparation for this. Anything after that, I leave to you, because you're basically Dawn now, Vincent. So part of me feels like the father died for nothing, because Jimmy ended up dying anyway. And the other part of me feels like the father would have agreed and understood with Vincent's decision to decide to kill Jimmy anyway. So I don't know how I feel about the end of this book. There was this sort of new kind of growing romance between Vincent and this other family who, I believe her name was Angela, which kind of, now that I think about it, if you've seen Stranger Things, Angela, yeah, that was a person. And sort of Vincent and Angela knew each other from like long when they were kids, and there was sort of an attraction there, and there were feelings there involved, but for mafia reasons, Vincent decides that he doesn't think it's a good idea to pursue a romance with Angela back then, when they were teenagers and when they were like young adults. And apparently her father didn't take that very well, because like now that like the wife is dead and all that, and he's free, the sort of feelings between Vincent and Angela kind of like resurface, and like they don't really go very far, because there's still, I think, yeah, like I don't, like for some reason, I'm trying to figure out why they wouldn't like go ahead. And I'm not sure I understood really why they didn't pursue more of that relationship now that they could. Like, I understood at the end when Vincent finds out something, but even before that, Angela's just sort of like that. No, like she kind of, I think like she kisses him, and she's kind of like, this is all that I can give you, kind of thing. So I'm not sure that I understood why they're not pursuing something more. Is it because he's Dawn of one family and wants to run her father's family, or did she know the thing that we discover at the end? Because what we discover I don't think she knew. Maybe she suspects and she didn't want to believe it. I don't know. And I'm like, is this a standalone or is there a sequel? because there's a short story at the end called The Vulture, but it takes place before the events of this. Like it's when he and his wife Lisa are like still like he's in college and they're like dating, and so like I don't know. I have to look up if there's a sequel to this because the way it ended was very like, oh shit, when you learn that the person responsible for giving the order and heading the whole like making the terrorist hijacking on the plane happen that killed his wife and 2 daughters, the person who ordered that and made it happen was Angela's father. So, yeah, and you find that out at the very end. So, is there a sequel to this? Because I would like. I'm kind of scared to see what happens in that situation, but I think I might enjoy that more, maybe, because it would be more like mafia centric, which are the Lorenzo Carcaterra books that I love. So yeah, I liked this one. Not my favorite. Not my favorite in comparison to the ones that I have already on my shelf of Lorenzo Carcaterra's work. Yeah, so that was that. I'm going to be starting, so that was my workbook. For my next workbook, I'm going to be starting Clara's War by Clara Kramer. And it is basically a World War II memoir, sort of in this, not in the style of Anne Frank, but sort of like in a similar, like a child during World War II. And I'll read the back blurb for you. So this is nonfiction. After the Nazis reached the small Polish town of Zolkiew, it's with a W, but I know that Polish people, I think they pronounce their W's like V's. Life for Jewish teenager Clara Kramer was never the same again. While their relatives, friends, and neighbors were either slaughtered or deported, the Kramers and 2 other families hid in a hand-dug cellar. Living above them were the Becks. Life under the protection of Mr. Beck, a hard-drinking, philandering, self-professed anti-Semite, was anything but predictable. From his nightly drinking sessions with the SS in the room above their bunker to his not-so-private affair with Clara's cousin, it seemed that the families had as much to fear from Beck as they did from the war. Yet he risked his life every day to keep his charges safe. 80 years later, Clara has written an extraordinary account of that terrifying time. Clara's War is lyrical, dramatic, and despite the worst of circumstances, a true story of hope and survival. So, you know that I love my World War II stories. Fiction, nonfiction, doesn't matter. I love it. I am so, like, yeah, that's my catnip. So this is a memoir that I will be starting as my book that I read at work. So yeah, that's sort of what's going on today. Doing some laundry. Gonna do some editing, like writing editing, and maybe some video editing. So yeah, today is sort of just like laundry day. Tomorrow I think I'm going to be filming my, I guess take advantage while I'm at home to do some filming. Tomorrow I'm going to be filming my Speed Dating My TBR episode 4. And the day after that, I will probably be doing some more video editing as well, and all through that writing and stuff. Um, so yeah, that's yeah, that's sort of gonna be the plan for this week as we get hit with maybe 20, 25 centimeters of snow. So yeah, um, I think that's gonna be it for today's video, and yeah, bye. Or maybe talk to you guys later. Um, or this just might be a short vlog. Bye. It's so good. It's so good, y'all. So one disc in, and I am loving it. First of all, we are staying home today. We are staying home today and likely tomorrow because while it's not snowing right now, it will. I think we're gonna get more snow in the afternoon, and it's like -7 or something outside. So I think this week is just a wash. We're just gonna be staying home for these next 2 days. Because like really there's like snow everywhere, and it wouldn't be like a comfortable walk. And yeah, so I wanted to mention, I forgot to mention this yesterday, but that Strivectin cream that I got with the coupon that I mentioned in a previous vlog that I got from my pharmacy that was having a sale, and you get like a $10 off coupon. So I bought the Strivectin cream. Did not work for me. Did not work for me. I will stick with my Neutrogena Hydro Boost one that's like half the price and works better. So whenever like that one is sort of on sale or whatever, I'll get that one. This one, it took so long to absorb, like half an hour later, and my face was still feeling like sticky, like not, it wasn't feeling soft, it was feeling like not, I don't want to say greasy, but it still felt like there was like lotion on top, and like it didn't feel soft. And then like a few hours later, like you would like touch it and it would feel like it was rubbing off, like it felt like peely, like, you know, like flaky, like that consistency. So yeah, this like did not work for me at all. So yeah, I still have like a bunch of the samples and stuff of like different creams and stuff to try that I got with my $10 donation. Was it $10 donation or $5 donation? I think it was like a $5 donation, and then you get like a $10 coupon and like a bunch of like little samples and stuff. So I still have like those. So I'm going to be going through those, and then like when my Neutrogena Hydro Boost goes on sale, I'll grab that, because that works like miles better than this high-end moisturizer. So it's not always you get what you pay for thing. More expensive does not always mean better. Not always. So yeah, I wanted to mention that. The Anna Windy Poplars, I'm liking it, but it's not giving me that same sort of peaceful, sort of like calm. Like there's beautiful lines in here still, and I'm not liking the again the epistolary nature of some of the chapters, but there it's and I read something about like in like part of her biography that like at some point Lucy Maud Montgomery was like not in like the best headspace. Like she might have like had depression or something at some point, and I'm thinking it might have been during this book because this book is much, I find, like sadder, and that's like really not great for what I look for from these books. Like there's one, they killed poor Teddy. They killed poor Teddy. This little adorable thing that shows up just like sort of like out of the blue, this little boy that Anne meets. And then like literally like in the next chapter, oh, he died of pneumonia. What? And then there's Catherine, oh, what's her name? Catherine Brewster Brownstone? Something or other. There's a character named Catherine who she's very not likable. Um, but then you get Anne, of course, like pushes and pushes, as she is wont to do, because she wants everybody to be happy and she wants everybody to like her. Um, so she refuses to sort of not be nice to this woman. And you finally learn like what this woman's story is, and it's very sad and it's very depressing. And I found it like a little too like triggering is such a buzzword, but I can't really like explain it like any other way. But like I could feel like myself getting like sad and depressed, and like that's not what I want from these books. That's the exact opposite of what I've come to expect from these books. So, and then so she has Anne has her time that she's spending at Summerside as like working there, and then she's going home for Christmas, and Gilbert is coming to home for Christmas as well, so they're going to be together. We don't get a reunion scene with Anne and Gilbert. It basically goes from she sees him coming to down the road to it cuts to Catherine talking about what a wonderful Christmas she's having it, and it like you get into Catherine's head. I'm like, no, no, give me my reunion with Anne and Gilbert. And that's what makes me think that maybe Lucy Maud Montgomery wasn't in the best headspace, that she just couldn't write a happy, lovely reunion scene with Anne and Gilbert. So she just cut it off and then went to write something else. That's sort of the feeling that I get. Which is sad because, in my opinion, it makes the book suffer. And this book, it like I said, while it has beautiful lines, I find that it's a sadder book than the previous three. Yeah, because it's book 4. So I'm almost finished it, and I think I will likely finish it between today and tomorrow. But not my favorite. Has not been my favorite. I would have skipped a lot of the sadder Catherine bits if it weren't for the fact that it's this series and it's Lucy Maud Montgomery, and I felt like I would be missing something if I skipped it. But yeah, I not and now I'm kind of like wishing that I did skip it, but I can't because then you miss out on the story and blah. But the fact that we had a snowstorm, that I'm here at home, that I can't go on my walks, which help with my mental sort of calmness, and then reading something sad, I'm really hoping that I don't have like a sort of mental sort of sad crash, which is sort of what I call when, you're doing great, you're doing fine or whatever, and then like just all of a sudden you get like that heavy sort of sad feeling where you're feeling so oppressed and pressured and just emotionally. Not that like anybody's doing that to me, but you just feel this oppressive pressure of sadness in your head, and then you just feel like crying and you have to hold it in because you're at work or you're at this, that. And then like you just get home and like you cry and then you just have that heavy, heavy sort of feeling. And so I don't want this to be sort of a perfect storm of that happening. The fact that I'm reading something sad, I'm stuck at home, which I'm a homebody. I like being at home, but I've come to depend on going on these walks to now I find I need that balance of going out into the fresh air, and then I can like be at home and like do all my like fun stuff that I want to do. I found that like I need that balance, and this week I don't think I am not gonna get that balance. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Um, oh, it's so good. So from the first 5 minutes in, the way that this is filmed is so beautiful and lush and sexy and just sleek and just good. It is good, melodramatic, crazy sauce. Absolute crazy sauce. First 5 minutes in, we have a priest in a church, and he's closing up for the night. And then you just see the shadow sort of like passing really, really fast. And then like it keeps sort of like dancing around, passing around him. And then this guy shows up, and he thinks that like the priest automatically notices something is off about this guy. And the priest is understandably frightened when the guy approaches him. And then the guy like gets on his knees and begs the priest to save him. And I'm like, yep, I'm in. It was just the atmosphere, and just, even though this is such crazy sauce, the acting is like so good. Like they're selling you on this absolute crazy sauce premise. The guy, Gabriel, is a vampire, and he lost his wife and unborn child because the wife was pregnant when she was killed by this vampire guy named Pizarro. And so that was like 300 years ago, and I believe he's the same guy that turned Gabriel. Kills the wife, but like doesn't kill Gabriel. He like turns him, I believe, into a vampire. I'm pretty sure he's the one that turned him. So he's been living like 300 years, and now there's this guy kind of after him that at first you think he seems to want to kill Gabriel, and the guy's got a screw loose in his head. And but then it turns out he doesn't want Gabriel to kill him. He wants him to turn him into a vampire. But something was done to this guy where either like he got bitten but he didn't get killed, but he didn't get turned. So he still has that thing of he can't go outside in the sun, but he's not a full vampire yet. So I'm not exactly sure what it is like but yeah. And so Gabriel is at the hospital because a man that like first you think that it's his father, but it's not. An old man is dying, and you find out that the old man was actually a baby that Gabriel adopted, and the old man was human. Gabriel adopted him as a baby, raised him, and of course the man grew old, but Gabriel didn't because vampire. And so now Gabriel sort of thinks of this old man, instead of like as his son, he thinks of him as a father. And then in this hospital, there's this nurse named Eva. Now, Eva bears a rather striking, uncanny, absolute, spot on resemblance to Gabriel's dead wife, Viviana, from 300 years ago. And Eva's been having some weird dreams. And so when she meets Gabriel, there's like this instant connection. But of course, Eva is like, who is this dude? He's all weird. These guys tried to kill this rapper that was in the hospital, and they attack Eva, but Gabriel saves her, and he gets like all shot up, except he doesn't get all shot up because vampire. And Eva sees this and is like, what the actual Sam Hewen is happening here? And then he saves her like in a parking lot, and the priest has there's this other priest that is sort of very nosy and starts like sniffing around, wondering like what the priest is doing and like why he's interested in all this like vampire lore now, because Gabriel keeps going to this priest for like advice basically. And the other priest priest number 2, or like the jackass priest, we'll call him, gets all like what are you doing? You're getting involved in the occult, and like priests don't do that, and blah blah blah. And so the bad priest calls the Vatican, and this Vatican apparently believes in vampires because they sent this guy to kill Gabriel. So Gabriel has the Vatican after him, and he meets this young girl who is like, she's just like this, she's not okay, she kills people, but she's a vampire that was turned by this same Pizarro guy who, her story is like very, very sad. So you understand why she's a bit bitchy. But, she and Gabriel become friends, and I knew that, like, I just knew as soon as, like, he started, like, liking her and, like, wanting to take care of her and, like, be her sort of, like, protector, I knew that she was gonna die. I knew it. I just knew. But, so that was the first, like, 4 episodes. And it's funny because the doctor in the hospital that Eva works at has a thing for Eva, and that doctor was the bad guy in Amor Bravio, was the young bad guy who wanted to be with Camilla in Amor Bravio. And he's a doctor here, and I don't like him too much here either, because he's very much like jealous of anyone who's sort of like around Eva, and he wants Eva for himself, but he doesn't come off as the nicest guy. So that's like, is he typecast now? Is there a show where like the actor actually plays a good guy? 'Cause so far he's played 2 ass butts. So yeah, that was the first 4 episodes. Really enjoying it. Loving it so far, and I'm planning to watch the second disc today, and yeah, so that's sort of the plan. I am going to today. I'm planning just to edit my Turkish drama for YouTube. the Hershey's Chocolate Kisses. That is not the name of the show. I cannot pronounce the name of the show because I'm an ignorant Canadian girl, and it's Hercai. So I'm planning to edit that for YouTube today. And I'm going to be filming my speed dating my TBR episode 4, I think, for tomorrow. I'm planning to do that for tomorrow. And yep, do some more polishing up of my historical romance, Wanted, that is going to be coming out for you guys this week, this year. Yeah, so that's sort of the plan for today, is editing my Turkish drama, polishing up Wanted, doing some more polishing up on Wanted, watching disc 2 of this, and reading some more of Windy Poplars. I really needed to get back to the uplifting, lovely, peaceful story that I know and love, because I need it, because I am home today and tomorrow, and I need that for my mental health. So that's going to be it for today. For lunch, I think I'm going to have some fries, and the rest of that roast beef au jus, and like with the gravy, the au jus, today. I think that's the plan for today. And yeah, so I will talk to you guys later. We need to talk about Bruno. So, dude has been chasing Gabriel for like the longest time, and we he is not like the head villain guy, but he's very, we thought that like he wanted to kill him, but then like we find out that he didn't, that he wants him to turn him into, he wants Gabriel to turn him into a vampire. And Gabriel is like, no, because I am vampire, and vampiring sucks. So Bruno gets mad and kidnaps Eva's best friend Mirabelle, in an attempt to force Gabriel to turn him into a vampire. And Gabriel is still like, nope, because vampire and vampiring sucks. But he does take him to the priest, the good priest, Father Miguel, who I adore. I love that priest so much. And he takes him to the priest to sort of like help him and like, get this guy to kind of like snap out of it. Snap out of wanting to vampire, because vampiring sucks. And he when he had kidnapped Mirabelle, he didn't want to hurt her. He wanted Gabriel to turn him into a vampire. And he tells her this heartbreaking story of the reason that he doesn't want to die is that he is dying from skin cancer. And it's progressed to such a point where like he can't, and like that is why he can't go out during the day. Like the sun actually like hurts his skin, and it's like burning his skin, and like he's becoming like disfigured, and it's just a very heartbreaking story. And that's when Gabriel takes him to the priest, and hopefully the priest can help him, and the priest does help him. But this is gonna be spoilery, y'all. This is gonna be spoilery because I can't talk about it without spoiling. there's this jackass Centauri who was like this crazy vigilante vampire hunter guy who the Vatican sent, but even the Vatican is like, dude, not that way, because he just wants to sort of like kill everything and anything that sort of like gets in his way. And so he's convinced, like he knows that Gabriel goes to the priest to have these like nightly conversations where they like just talk about like philosophy and destiny and like all that stuff. And so he sees somebody there with the priest, and it's like the middle of the night, and so he thinks that it's Gabriel, and he's like, aha, I will get my man this time. But he goes with like the stake, and does he shoot him or does he stake him first? Either way, he ends up killing not Gabriel, but poor Bruno. So poor Bruno has died. A very, very sad figure. The actor who played him was amazing. And yeah, we've lost Bruno. But at least like in the end he had sort of found his peace. Like he was in a better place mentally. And then that idiot had to go and kill him. And the guy who I recognized as like the villain from the other novella from Amor Bravio, his name in this is, I think, Padrão. He's not. I thought he was going to end up being more of a villain, but he's not. He's a good. I don't know if I'd call him a good man, but he's not a villain. At least not up till now. But he does sort of definitely have happy pants for Eva and wants her for himself, and is very jealous of the fact that Gabriel is always around, and that apparently it looks like she and Gabriel are closer, and he doesn't like that. But that's sort of the extent of it that I've gotten from his so far. And so we learn something that definitely sort of came as a surprise, but makes sense with what Eva had been going through, because throughout like the whole series, she's been having these really sort of weird dreams of being like in the jungle, and of like this old, not necessarily old woman, but like an older woman with like this medallion who like curses the villain for basically massacring all her people. I believe she's a native woman, an indigenous woman, and this Pizarro guy comes and like massacres her people, and she puts a curse on him, and I guess curses him into becoming a vampire. And we learn that the reason that Eva keeps dreaming about that woman is because she is that woman. She is that woman reincarnated, and the reason that I'm just gonna spoil the whole thing right now, so yeah, I'm just gonna spoil the whole thing that I've read. I have one more disc to go. It's so good, y'all. Oh my god, it's so good. This Pissarro guy, the reason that Gabriel was turned into a vampire, and Eva as Viviana was killed along with their unborn child, is not that Pissarro was after Gabriel to turn him into a vampire. He was after Viviana. because he's been trying to kill every reincarnation of her. So he's killed her sort of all through time. And that's sort of what he does. That's his that's his we all have hobbies, I guess, and his is killing Viviana over and over again. And so she and I really like the actress's manner in like the way sort of she reacted, because she's very like stunned and sort of like out of sorts, and just sort of like just I don't know, like just her performance is like really really good. And so now this Pissarro guy learns that, does he know yet that Mirabelle is, he finds Mirabelle in a bar and basically seduces her and does something to her, because the last scene of the last episode that I watched, she's walking into the hospital and she's like, she's out of it. She's like physically like something is definitely wrong with her, and she collapses in Eva's arms, begging for her to help her. So that's where I left off. So I don't remember if we saw, I don't think that Pissarro knows that Mirabelle is Eva's friend. But I gotta say, just on a purely superficial note, that I really like present day Eva more than the previous sort of incarnations of her, more than like Viviana or because the look of Eva, because present day Eva, like she's beautiful, don't get me wrong, she's beautiful, and she's got this like wild like curly hair, and she's just, I don't know, like I like the look of her in present day better. In like the past, they have her in like the, you know, the old-timey clothes and all that, but they, you know, her hair is done perfectly, and like her makeup is like, you know, 2000, that the early 2000s makeup, especially in like telenovelas, where it was like very heavy on the eye makeup, and like her hair was like straight, like serious hair straightener vibes. And they just made her face look too model-y. Like she looked way too contemporary fashion model. And I did not like that look on any of like her past incarnations. Present day Eva, she looks like a normal, pretty girl who like lives her life day to day. She's like, she looks like approachable. She just looks, I don't know, like not like she just stepped out of the pages of a fashion magazine. There was this one time that she was like all, she got all dolled up to go on her first date with Gabriel, and they did the same thing. They like straightened her hair, and they had her in this like really tight dress that just like really like didn't suit the character sort of at all. Like really not. I Yeah. So that, just totally on a superficial note, that was just something that I noted. I like her normal everyday look much much better than when they try and like glam her up, because sort of, and I've noticed this in a lot of telenovelas, it's the same sort of look. It's the very straight hair and the tight dresses and the boobs raised up to Jesus and the dark makeup and no, no. That is not a good look, in my opinion. Not no shame or anything like that. I just for myself, I don't like that look. That sort of high end fashion model slash call girl kind of look that was very sort of prevalent in the early 2000s. So that's sort of where we left off. The friend Mirabelle has come to the hospital and collapsed in Eva's arms. And I really hope that she doesn't die. So one more disc to go. I think I'm going to be finishing it today. Very excited, very looking forward to it. I think this has been my favorite Spanish telenovela that I've seen so far. It's just like I loved Amor Bravio. Don't get me wrong. I really, really liked it. But I like this one more. Just because of the vampire sort of mythology and the reincarnation bit. And Cheyenne is so pretty. Let's talk about that. I mean, good Lord, this is a pretty, pretty man. He's so pretty. But yeah, so now Gabrielle and Viviana slash Eva are reunited, and they're together now, and yeah. Anne of Green Gables, we have passed the depressing Catherine moments, and I'm very happy about that. It seems like it's getting a little bit more uplifting, which I am happy about. I am not happy about. We had that whole moment where Gabriel, where Gilbert and Anne were reunited for Christmas. We didn't get one scene with them together, y'all. It talked about like that Gabriel, stop it! Gilbert was there sort of like, with her at the party, and they were together, but we didn't get one like scene of the two of them talking with each other, one like romantic moment with the two of them. And I can only guess that it is because of Lucy Maud Montgomery's maybe state of mind at the time, that she just wasn't in a romantic headspace to write about Anne and Gilbert together. Like, maybe I'm really hoping that we'll get them talking to each other together in a scene before this book is over, because that I've just not been happy about that. So yeah, now she's back at Summerside, and Catherine is doing better, and like making more of an effort to not be such a mean shrew. Yeah, so I might finish this today. I don't know if I'll finish this today. But yeah. I just finished recording my speed dating my TBR, where I read these books. The way that works is I read the first chapter, prologue, or 10 pages, whichever comes first. And I decide if they are going back on my TBR or if they are going off to another home. So if you want to find that video, you should be able to either find that on my channel now when this goes up. I believe that it should be up as already. If not, then it will be up soon. But that is Speed Dating My TBR episode 4. And yeah, I'm enjoying doing those videos where I just sort of sit and and read for a bit. So going to do some more reading. I'm going to work on some more polishing up of my historical romance, Wanted, and going to watch The Last Disc. The Last Disc, the last 3 episodes. 9, 10, and 11. That's all I have left. Yeah, so that's sort of the plan. Gonna make some lunch. I got some chicken defrosting there. Maybe with some rice, I'm thinking. And yeah, so that is the plan. And then woof, back to work tomorrow. There has been no walking this week. These days off. 'Cause I think it's like minus something today. But also it's the outside, it's like the snow is like not all melted. It's been cold, so a lot of it has been like hard packed and like icy. And I'm not risking going out in that and falling, because your girl is not willing to go through another October of pain. So she's not willing to do a redo of that. Thank you very much. So we're just sort of staying home and then back to work tomorrow. Going to be editing my vlog from last week, and I finished editing my episode 45 of my Turkish drama Hershey's Chocolate Kisses, and it's episode 45 that I edited. Should be ready for YouTube, and so that will be up on my reaction channel. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this week. Oh my goodness. So yeah, gonna watch some vampire goodness, gonna be editing, gonna be like editing some writing, editing some video, watching my vampires, and yeah, that'll be the plan. So I guess I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.